Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 60 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of ATM10 to the Sky. Draconic evolution crafting, it's going really well. Everything's fully automated. Everything we set up last episode is going beautifully. So I'm actually, I just made 12 brand new wyvern injectors. The old 12s are in there. I guess, you know what it is? It's because they were set to like single storage mode. So I guess what I should do when I do these ones, the next task we want to work towards is just progressing through Draconic, right? So there's a few things we're going to want to do here. We could look at the quest book if we want to, see a guide, but in general, like I've played with this stuff before. So we can now, because we have this stuff, make these things and then work towards making Draconic tier, which is pretty much where we want to get to. Because Draconic tier is when we're going to be able to get access to like the really powerful armor, which we're absolutely going to need if we want to try and take on the Chaos Dragon, right? So super high level, right? We're going to want to get really powerful armor, get really powerful weapons, go take on the Chaos Dragon. All of that requires Draconic tier. So to get Draconic tier, we're going to need to make sure that we can make these things, right? So let's go take a look at this and see what the deal is. So we already have one dragon heart, because we did kill the dragon once. Hopefully we can find a good way to farm this in an intelligible way. But in order to make draconium blocks, we're going to need this recipe, right? And that's going to have to go into our thingy. We're also going to want to know how to make wyvern cores, but we already have them on the to-do, so that's cool. And I think we should probably just, do this and throw this in there as well. So let's look into first automating this setup, right? So I'm going to want you to know how to make these dudes, right? So if I hit start on that, he should do all this, right? So we have to like fill in these remaining pieces, right? If I'm not mistaken on this, right? So we're going to need 4. Why did you only give me 3? Let's cancel you real quick. Give me that back and make sure I didn't do... Oh, I know. I may know what happened. Hold on. Oh, yeah, you do that, don't you? You're set up... Yeah, because you needed... So I could probably remove this so that we don't have to worry about draconium blocks, because that's not something we will theoretically ever have to really craft again. Theoretically. Correct. So let's remove this pattern, right? So that we don't have to worry about that no mores. And then also, because you're locked, I should unlock you. Okay. And then what we can set up is on the up here, you're going to not do these anymore, but do these, okay? And that's why we got the 4, okay? So let's put all this back for a second. And then we don't need this recipe no mores. So that should be cool. And now I should be able to make Awakened Draconium, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to immediately insert things. We're going to want 4 more of you and then a dragon heart, right? So, like... might as well just say, like, you can also accept this, and you can also accept this, and you can also accept this, and you can also accept that. And then we'll put a dragon heart on one of these dudes. Right? Now, what's the deal with making dragon hearts? No recipe whatsoever. So no sneakiness. Right, so now you should be making Awakened Draconium. You're just going to need a very large amount of power to do that. Like a very, very large amount of power. But it's running, so that's cool. It's just going to take a really long time with our current power distribution system. But that's okay. Like, we'll solve that in a little bit. And to solve that, we're probably going to want to do some of these things, right? Because these guys can do, like, a lot of power transfer. And they're pretty cool, right? Yeah, we should be able to pull that off. Let's get them set up sooner than later. We should also pay attention to this dude. We're gonna need power generation to deal with Draconic, because remember, Draconic's like super endgame, so it needs a lot of power. But, like, again, we'll get there when we get there. Let me actually set this craft up first. And that means I'm going to have to set you up first. And I'm definitely going to want, like, a really big power gen thingy. Like the big orb to store, like, tons and tons of forge energy. That would be cool. I'm just saying. So that has all you guys set up. We'll deal with, like, the draconic tier thingy in a minute. But theoretically, we should have no problem. I don't think any of these actually need, like, that doohickey. Oh, you need basics, right? Yeah, I forgot. You do need basics as, like, a core component, don't you? Hopefully I don't have any problems. Sweet. Okay. Cool. And cool. So now, if I'm not mistaken, I can, instead of that, I'm going to remove you for a sec, and I'm going to stick you on here. Okay. And then centered above this dude, I'm going to want the energy relay wireless energy crystal. Right? And then from draconic, we're going to want, like, the wrenchy dude. There's a wrenchy dude somewhere in here. This guy. Cool. And then he should be sending his power. And then I can remove this thing entirely because we don't need them no more. Is that cool? And he can transfer way more power, which is awesome. He has, like, a big buffer, 16 million and 16 million. So we have tons of energy buffered there, which is great. You know, and we barely tapped even into that stuff, so that's kind of cool, actually. Not too shabby, right? And now we've got that, which we can convert to ingots as we see fit, right? So you can convert down to that in a thingy like that. So you know how to do that. All right, so now let's figure out dragon hearts, because clearly we're going to want a lot of them. In order to get more of those, is there, like, a sneaky way I can deal with, like, dragons and get more hearts? So there's definitely not a craft for it. So that tells me you do not make the hearts. So we're going to have to come up with a way to automate these if we can, if that's even possible. I don't know. I have no idea. Like, there's lots of things we can do, but I don't know, like, which of them would necessarily work versus not work on an Ender Dragon. So, like, off the top of my head, I can think of things like we can set up just dire things to, like, attack the dragon. We can set up like the stasis chamber to maybe freeze the dragon, but I don't know if, like, dragons are denied from stasis chamber, right? So we're gonna have to, like, figure that out. Let's make one, bring it to the end, summon the dragon, and see if it works. Is that a plan? I like it. It sounds like a fun plan. We're going to experiment today. I have no idea if any of this is even going to be possible. What I do want to do, though, is get some draconic cheer weaponry. So wyvern stuff should be easy, right? So wyvern sword and wyvern bow I'd like to have. Probably wouldn't mind having some of the armor as well. I don't know exactly how the armor works, though, because I see a lot of upgrades, but I'm not seeing any actual armor. Where's, like, draconic chest plate? Oh, there it is. That's it. Oh, that's right. It's only a chest piece now, right? There's no more armor. It's just the draconic chest plate that, like, does all the protections and armor and all that stuff, right? So we don't even actually have to worry about losing my helmet, legs, or boots. We just give up our chest plate to get the draconic. That's cool. Like that. So let's make sure that you know how to make this. And we're going to see how far we can get with our current heart. right? Because what I'd like to have is actually, if possible, I'd love to have the actual draconic tier weaponry. So this is chaotic. I really want draconic sword, this guy, and then bow, which is this guy. And then we're going to want to look at all the upgrades we can get as well. So to start with, we can get a wyvern sword, and that looks pretty straightforward. I don't even know that I need to like auto-craft it. I think what we can do is just like make these and then go from there. Is that fair? I think so. So give me a diamond sword and all this stuff. Let me bookmark this recipe so that I can see it nice and easily. So diamond sword goes in here, right? And then it's going to be 2 basic energy, 2 draconium, 2 basic energy, 2 draconium, okay, and then a wyvern energy and a draconium core. And that's cool. Beautiful. And we're rocking and rolling. All right. Now, I may not want to do, like, the next thing just yet. The next tier. But what I will do is this one. So regular bow, we're going to need 2 more basics, 2 more draconium, and 1 of each of these dudes, right? So you... I did that in the wrong order again. You and you. And remember, none of these are like really meaningful until we get the upgrades going, which I may go ahead and do. And then a bow. Now, in theory, I shouldn't need to whitelist what goes into these guys, in theory. Because if we always high priority the insert here for everything we do, and we filter what's allowed in here, and since we're only doing 1 in at a time, we should be able to handle this, right? So I think in theory, let's remove our whitelists from these guys, right? And that will hopefully make our auto-crafting a little bit easier. Let me test that real quick. Right? And let me clear these out. Worst case, I just have to reset them up and I'll do it off camera. Is that fair? I'm going to say yes. Did I also have whitelists on you guys? Yep, but they were left empty, so that's cool. Sweet. All right, because with the correct prioritization of this dude, we should be cool. Because like when we insert our thing, it'll just be like, yeah, we're prioritizing putting everything in there, and we can assume all the other stuff is going to be part of the same, so that should be fine, right? And now we can test that very easily with one of the upgrades. So I think we have our wyvern bow, and we have our wyvern sword, and if I'm not mistaken, there's like a hotkey for keybinds for category draconic evolution. And what we're looking for is tool config is C, which is bound to a bunch of other stuff, but we'll see if that's a problem. Cool. This item requires energy modules to function. I concur. So that's what I like. Shift C to open up the... Okay, cool. Yeah. I remember this. This is like the Factorio style. You get to pick what goes in things. Yeah. I remember that. All right. So let's look at Draconic Energy Module. Let's get like the Wyvern tier energy module. That looks pretty straightforward, so that's cool. Okay. Are they all named module? Because that would be awesome. They are not named whatever that was. So let's do like... damage module, right? So that looks That's going to require that tier. Let's stick with the early tier first, right? So for this to work, we're going to need you, which is going to need you, a module core, right? And then we'll do like damage modules, which looks neat, but we may need to get you going, potions of strength. I'm curious to see how much more damage I can get on like a wyvern tier sword versus like unobtainium. Because like pretty good, but I think we can do even more with draconic, right? I assume. What else we got here? I will definitely look into some of these. Filterable Ender Collection module, that's cool. Draconic tier energy module. Yeah, I want to hold off on the draconic tier stuff. Auto fire, wyvern damage, Ender Collection, wyvern energy, wireless energy link. I shouldn't need that. Wyvern flight. I might not need that yet. When I get the chest plate, I will swap it out so that I have creative mode flight. I shouldn't need most of these. Selective incineration. Oh, that's cool. Junk filter. That's neat. Shield capacity, mining stabilizer, night vision module, stuff we don't necessarily need, right? But wyvern projectile accuracy module, I like the sound of that, and damage module, and gravity compensation module is probably a good one to throw in there. Okay. What else should we throw in there? Penetration module? That's cool. Velocity module is good, and then these are all shield things that we'll come back to, right? So let's make sure that we know how to make a lot of these. So you're going to need you. Let's do this, because it's quicker to yoinks. And then while we're at it, we can yoinks all this stuff that we don't need. So I will want those flux points for when I go to try and stasis module this dude, because that's my plan, right? We're going to try and stasis module him. And then let's throw you into another wrench slot, because we could always use more wrenches. Cool. Okay. So, which draconic arrowy thing did I do just now? I did projectile accuracy. Okay. So then we're going to want you. We're going to want you, which means you and you. And then we're going to want this guy. You're going to need to know how to make shields real quick. So we have a bunch of potions to autocraft, but like, I think we can deal with that when we get there, kind of deal. Wow, they are really all about bothering me today, aren't they? Am I crazy, or did I not hear a dude? Okay. Anyway, let's just start with like super basics, right? So let me get like a couple energy modules. And then can I get damage modules yet? No, I need the potions. We're gonna have to like autocraft potions of some kind. But at the very least, I should be able to do this, which means you can now store energy. And now when I activate you, we don't have any modules in there yet, but like at least he's storing energy now. Doesn't look like he does a lot of damage just yet, but like we'll get there when we get there. Fair. And then we can do the same with these dudes. Now, does this thing require... Can he shoot, like, energies? Because I feel like he could. Energy-based arrows or something. I thought there was, like, a thing he could do. Maybe it's not until a higher tier. But I thought there was something about, like... Ooh, what is that? Quantum energy tunnel? What's that do? I don't know. Wireless energy link, whatever that is. I don't know. Maybe it lets us, do stuff. Draconic flight module. I thought there was something that lets you have like energy-based arrows. Isn't there something for that? I could have sworn there was an energy-based arrow in Draconic. Am I remembering the wrong mod? I don't know. I think step one, though, is let's get to the end and see if stasis module works on the dragon. And then... Yada, yada, yada. That's right. I should really set up... and crystally things. We'll do this many. Okay. Are you going to be loud, dragon? A little bit. Cool. And then I should be able to do, at least for now, use you still and my Uber sword. Did I bring an arrow with me? Probably not. I'm assuming that I probably don't even have to do that. I just want to hit him once with my sword. Do I not have, like, this thing, invulnerability happening? What's my invulnerability hotkey set to? Oh. There you go. Not as much damage as I would have thought. Okay, so now the test is, can we stasis chamber this dude? And I guess the trick would be, can we get the stasis chamber placed? Such that when he comes down, he gets stasis. Any questions? That is very funny. So then we set up a Just Dire Things clicker to deal with this guy, right? Am I wrong? Like, this is the play. This is exactly how this works. Just Dire Things clicker, decent sword, doesn't even matter that the regen crystals are still running. We don't have to worry about them. We literally just set up the stasis chamber. He will eventually fly into it. Stasis chambering him is not a great idea. Let's get healed up. But that's funny, right? I feel like that's kind of cool. Let's get ourselves, like, armor. That, you know. Also, to be fair, we're in, like, the stupidly complex world mode, right? So, shouldn't I, like, I don't know. Why do those messages seem like the same thing? What's that hotkey for apotheosis? Control T, right? If we set ourselves back to Haven mode, right, we will get less orange dudes, but killing the Ender Dragon should be a lot easier, right? And let's get, like, the armor piece, right? So, the chest piece, right? So we're going to want the draconic one if we can. I feel like that would be cool. So we're going to want a wyvern one first, right? And to make a wyvern one, it's this. So let's save this recipe in here. And then in theory, all I should have to do to make this happen is tell you that on the up, diamond chestplate. Right? And now it should, quote unquote, just work. Assuming we have a diamond chestplate. Because what'll happen is, it'll just allow things to go wherever they want, and then the diamond chestplate goes in there. Because, like, it's just going to prioritize the diamond chestplate going in the middle piece. So, like, no need to filter the outer edges. because we can say one at a time, right? And then we can do something similar for the draconic tier chestplate, because like we're gonna definitely want that, right? So now we do this, which should be pretty straightforward given our current art situation, right? And then this guy uses this dude in the center, right? So now we'll probably never craft this again, so we can just replace this with this, and we can say, hey, why is crafting locked? Did he not? Oh, he didn't recognize it as being the same. That's fair. Can you do that? Nope, you're missing. But if I took you, we're going to need to, like, do that. And then I'll probably need up to be exactly this as a match. And then the recipe will also need to be exactly that as a match. I did this so that it would be easier, and I'm now regretting it. So you go in here, you go to that. Let's see if you want to work now. Nope. Alright, better solution, because you want to be a stinker about MBT data. Meh. At this point, it would have been faster to just do it manually. Injector tier too low. That's right. I forgot. That's a thing. Yeah, we're gonna need to amp up those injector tiers, aren't we? I will fix that. Probably next episode, though. At least for now, I can get the basics of what I want to get. All I need to do is cancel you, and then remove you, because we're probably never going to craft another one of those again. Right, I forgot the injection tier is a thing. But we should now be able to get things like shield modules. So let's get a couple energy modules. And then let's get shield modules. So wyvern tier, we're going to want a wyvern large shield module. I definitely want that. And for that to work, we're going to need a regular shield module, which looks pretty straightforward, luckily. And then I wouldn't mind wyvern shield control module. That sounds fair. Oh, you need a whole heart for that? Oh my goodness. And then wyvern shield recovery module sounds like a good thing to have as well. And what this will allow me to do is basically be invulnerable. Right? Should be cool. So let's get our 4 energies. Let's get a shield control module, because I assume I need one of those. Hooray. Let's get a large capacity module. And then let's see. So you do that, and then you can be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then if I equip you, now I don't have creative mode flight, but I can get that, right? Because there's a draconic flight module. All we need is that. Cool. And now I can fly. I'm suddenly realizing that the draconic flight module may not be creative mode flight. Flight mode is elytra, right? If I want this one, this flight mode is creative and elytra. I think that's doable. So does that just take you out and upgrade you? Yes, but I need the potion of slow fall. So, no, Not a big deal. Not a big deal. I will miss creative mode flight, but I still have my jetpack, so that's cool. Where is my shield recovery? Do I need recovery for shields? Let me just get one in there and see how big it is. Oh, it's a 1x1, so I should be no problem to throw 4 of them in there. Okay, so now shielding will charge up down there, see? And that's cool. So now I should be able to go back. Come on, Enderman, let's go. Bring it! Do I care about dragon eggs? Probably not. I don't have any torches on me either. Alright, well let's get this dude summoned again. I want to try killing him on this lower world here, because I assume that will be easier. Yes. I want to tick accelerate the crystals is what I want to do right now. I just want to see how quickly I can kill him on the higher world tier. And then we'll probably want to wrap up the episode because it's getting to be that point. I also kind of want to test to see what happens if I let him. I want him to be captured in here. So would you be so kind as to come down here, dude? Yay, the shield module's working. Get down here. Definitely does more damage. He has less shielding and whatnot. Come on, bro. I would love for you to get captured because I really want to test how this stasis thing works with him dying. Because I'm worried that the stasis chamber was interrupting his death animation, and I want to see if I'm right about that or not. We're definitely going to need more shielding before we fight the Chaos Dragon, though. That's, like, an absolutely true fact. I'm trying to imagine how I can use, like... Because my Just Dire Thing's chestplate has, like, some pretty nice upgrades in it. Trying to decide, like, what else I can use here to make the Chaos fight more possible. Come on, get down here. There he is. Come on. I'm a little concerned that he's not, like, stasis right now. Can I add on the stasis and make it bigger? Let's get you, and we'll just see. If I do this, does it make a difference? Worst case, I can just move it up a Y level and we should be fine. But I'm just curious, do you actually respect? I didn't think you respected it. He accepts this the upgrade. That's add-on efficiency tier 5. That is the wrong. I forgot we had those, like, fancy add-on dudes. Range, tier 4. Forget if he even accepts range upgrades. He doesn't. He doesn't even accept them. So, alright. Let me wrap up the episode here. What I'm thinking is we definitely move this up a Y level because he definitely was floating a little bit above it. And then when we come back next episode, in fact, this should be really easy to fix. Right, we just do that, and that should be cool. And then, yeah, show me your thing. When he gets down here, he'll probably get caught in that one now. Because he will settle above it, I think. And just hopefully he doesn't break it. And then between episodes, I'll find out if he gets stuck in his death loop. But for now, we definitely got to wrap up. So for Daryl 20 sign off, hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time and see if we can automate the dragon. For now, take it easy.